Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Nicholas Montez. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have y'all back here together again. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing a very important thing today, because today, we're going to be reviewing, because this week I watched Tenet, we're going to be reviewing all of the movies of Christopher Nolan's filmography. But before we get to that, I need to talk about the films that I haven't seen. So with that said, let's get started. At number 11, it's what's this movie called? Hang on, let me go to his filmography real quick. I believe it's I'm gonna say I'm just gonna say no, wait. Interstellar. Number 10 is, Interstellar. 11 through 9 is the movies I haven't seen. Everything else is what I've seen. Number 10 is The Prestige, I believe. And number 9 is The Following. So now let's just get started with the actual ranking. At number 8, my least favorite Christopher Nolan film is Dunkirk. I just think that this movie was just so boring. The only good thing about it is that the special effects with the war stuff was great. Everything else was pretty much bad. And I didn't really care for Tom Hardy in the film at all. Number 7, the film I just saw recently, Tenet. I thought that this movie had some cool stuff to do with. I thought the action was pretty cool. I thought the special effects, the way they kind of took inspiration from Inception, I thought was great. I also love the cast with Robert Pattinson and the Washington guy. But on a story level itself, it's not really the best thing, so that kind of brings it down a whole lot. Number 6, The Dark Knight Rises. What I personally loved about this movie was that it was just a great conclusion to the Dark Knight trilogy. And that's probably the best thing about this movie, and that will be the best thing about this movie. And, of course, the action is pretty cool. The third act is, of course, big and massive. Bane is, of course, a threatening villain, and this is actually the better Tom Hardy movie with Christopher Nolan, directed by Christopher Nolan. Well, I mean, there is another film that I like him in, but we'll get onto that later. But I will say this, Bane's story itself and the little twists and turns never really works for me. Catwoman also works, but for me, this movie is easily my least favorite of the Dark Knight trilogy, but I still really like it. Number 5, Insomnia. I thought this was actually a pretty just well-told story directed by Christopher Nolan, where it had a good cast, it had a good story, and it had the right ending. And I just thought it was a nice detective story. At the same time, focusing on Al Pacino's character, where he's having trouble sleeping. And I thought that was awesome. Number 4, Memento. What I personally loved about this movie was that it took this story, where it's not just a thriller, but they took it in a way where he can't remember his own memories, where he can have something at the moment, and then he'll just forget it a couple days later. He'll just forget it a couple seconds later. Not short-term memory, but different. And I love the way they actually told the story backwards. And I loved that. I love the way they told the story in the movie, and you can connect to every piece of the movie, and it was just awesome. And they also were able to prove that you could do an action movie without punching people in the face and stuff, or shooting people in the face. And it was all done by Christopher Nolan. And this was actually the better Ultra-Trillion movie. If you understand what I mean, go watch Iron Man 3, because that movie's bad. Well, not bad, but it doesn't have the greatest performance of Guy Pearce. In third place, Batman Begins. I would say, other than Spider-Man, this is probably my favorite superhero origin story put to the screen, to the big screen, and it's just amazing to see it. Of course, Bruce Wayne's origin story as Batman, becoming Batman, it's just awesome. I just love everything they did with that. Superficially speaking, all the characters, like Liam Neeson's character, all of that is great. When he returns to Gotham and becomes Batman, and you start to set up this character arc for Gotham, and it's just amazing. Some of the action is a little bit choppy, and some of the villains are kind of forgettable, but I keep seeing videos, and they have a much bigger impact in the whole trilogy as a whole, so I can't really give them that much hate, but I really like that Batman Begins. In second place, The Dark Knight. What I personally appreciated about this movie was that it really continued those themes that you loved about the Batman Begins, and it made the character, it kind of set this theme of Batman not being the hero Gotham deserves, but the hero that Gotham needs right now. No, wait. He's the hero that Gotham doesn't deserve, but the one that it needs right now. And I love that. Along those same lines, Heath Ledger's Joker is, of course, an amazing, great performance of Heath Ledger. The action is also better in this movie. Batman is also great. Two-Face is also pretty cool. And you also get another cool relationship between Gordon and Batman. I thought that was great. So it pretty much just does everything you want from the Batman Begins and combines it and makes it better and makes it a crime thriller. So I love that. But in first place is Inception. This is by far one of the absolute creative Christopher Nolan movies I've ever seen. First off, the special effects are great. Now, I will say this. If you guys watch Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange, you know that those movies kind of take inspiration from this movie, where they have all these kaleidoscope, real stuff. I kind of like those stuff in those movies more, just because it looks cooler. But this, I'm not going to lie, this movie is very cool. Along those same lines, the characters are, of course, exciting. Of course, I would say the best character in the entire movie is Leonardo DiCaprio's character, where he just wants to go back to his kids. He's tired. Like, he wants, but at the same time, he wants to do this mission. And then you also, like, the whole cast is also great with Tom Hardy, the girl from X-Men. Just the whole cast is great. And then... Sorry. And then you also, like, take inspiration shots of action sequences that are, like, from James Bond. So, put it all together, and you just get for a really good movie with solid action, solid performances, and solid, spectacle. So for me, this is my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. And that's it for my Christopher Nolan ranking. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All my social media links, well, my social media stuff is in the about section over there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.